In this video, I'm going to show you how to make a super easy and beautiful and wearable aquarium nail. So stick with me and I'll show you how it's done. I've already buffed the nail tip that I'm going to apply the gel colors on the background for my aquarium nail. Make sure you do that so that the gel adheres nicely to it and it doesn't peel or lift if you do that on a real person. There's 2 coats. I did not cure the second coat because the colors that I'm going to put on, I'm going to swirl into that blue and it's going to be beautiful. I'm going to start with the green and I'm just going to randomly place it wherever, blending it in, just kind of make a oceany type background for this nail. Next I'll use this really pretty yellow. It's just to put some highlights in it to brighten it up a little bit, give it some definition, make it kind of look like a bit of a seascape, I guess. So I cured and wiped off the sticky layer on this, and I'm going to apply a clear coat just because I just want it shiny in there. This really pretty blue glitter I'm going to use on the outside, and this very beautiful mix of colors, greens and yellows, golds, blues. I'm going to put that on the inside where I'm going to put the liquid, along with these beautiful seashell bits. They're very opalescent purple. I'm going to make a platform with clear acrylic because I want the whole nail to show, except for where I'm going to put the gems. But I want to put this right where the nail bed would be. I want it flush with the cuticle, but raised up high enough for me to have space to put liquid in. So this tip, I chose 2 sizes smaller than the tip that I'm applying the color to. And that way it'll make it less bulky on the sides. I want it to be very slender and very wearable. Make sure you get that in the right place because you are going to be drawing the shape where the nail bed is, that V that I made with the clear acrylic, and you're going to be cutting. So make sure you get it, position it where you want it, hold it down with your thumb, and then you can draw with I'm going to use not a Sharpie, but a marker, permanent marker. You can wipe it off even with alcohol, so it doesn't matter if it's permanent, it won't stay. So these scissors, you need some very sharp, very pointy, good condition scissors, and go along with the curve of the nail when you cut these so that you're not putting dents or marks in it. So on the right there you can see my cut tip, and it's worked out pretty good. Sometimes it's you have to do it over again because it doesn't come out the right shape, and there's too many gaps. If you have a little bit of gappage, it's okay. You don't need to worry about that. But get it matched with the bed of the nail, the clear bed that I made, and then you hold it down and you put a very dry bead of acrylic on there. Bleed that out as much as you can, because you don't, if it's too wet, it's going to seep down into the cracks and kind of make it look lumpy in there. I'm very particular on how it looks inside. So I start with just a little bead and then I do 1/2, blend it in, blend it towards the back. So again, that it's really flush towards the cuticle. If this was a person, you don't want it to be big and bulky there. And I'm just going to hold it. Doesn't take very long just to make sure it's all in the right place. And this way it's not quite cured, so you can move it into place if it moved while you were holding it. If you need to rearrange it or whatever, you still have a little bit of time to do that. So everything will be okay. And once that's cured, you can start. I'm going to start on the sides. And again, this bead of acrylic is going to be very, very dry because once again, I don't want it inside. I want to keep it as much on the outside and still seal the little area there. So I'm just going to place it and then I'm going to gently drag it across. I'm not going to push. If anything starts to fall in inside, you might want to get it out of there. If you're not so picky, just leave it there and don't worry about it. So I did all the way around the sides except for this little area. It's big enough for me to put plenty of stuff in there. I could even put bigger pieces of things. The shell bits are a little bigger than glitter, but they fit. And there's room enough for me to put the water in also. I don't need a syringe doing it this way. A syringe is a great idea. I've seen people do it and that's awesome. But I just use a very narrow spouted water bottle, squeezable. As I'm doing this, I'm wanting a lot of glitter in there, but I'm hoping I'm not getting too much. I think it did end up being a little too much, so maybe I would use less, but the shells, those were a must. I just love them. So now it's time for the water. See how skinny that tip is? It's better to have them thinner. The water just goes in so much easier, but this hole is big enough for me to feel comfortable just kind of squirting it in there like that. I need to tap that down because move that glitter and those shells around. Make sure I got enough water in there. So this, you need to make sure that's really dry. I just used a paper towel or a no wipe or a no lint wiping cloth. Just make sure it's very dry, and then make sure that your acrylic bead is also very dry. And you just want to lay it across there as quick as possible because there is going to be some water right at the surface of that hole. So just put it where you want it, lay it off to the side, not directly on, and that way you can just slide that acrylic right on top of it over to the other side. So this part, I'm just going to use a clear top coat to apply the really pretty blue glitter there. And that's just an added touch. I think it makes it look prettier. Plus it covers up the sides where you can see the acrylic. And I did file that down on this side here because it was a little lumpy, but filing is not an issue when it comes to precision when you're trying to make a beautiful nail. This old brush, I just use it specifically for applying glitter to gel, and when things are moving a little fast and maybe I forget to rinse the brush off or use the alcohol to clean it or whatever, I don't have to worry about it getting ruined. Sometimes I do that. And I'm now going to just use very wet acrylic in this case, and that way it decreases your chances of having bubbles. You don't want a bunch of bubbles or little specks or whatever, so the best way to do that is with a very wet bead and a really good clear acrylic. This one I'm using right now, Mia Secrets Clear, I actually really love it. It's very clear. So little bits by little bits. I don't like to just put a big blob on there sometimes because I just want to make sure it's gonna look nice. So I have filed and buffed and putting the top coat on to see how it looks. There it is. Really, really pretty. This video is a little dark, I think, but hopefully you can see more detail when I'm done. I'm not going to use a lot of gems on here. I want this whole nail to show. I'm just going to use this to kind of accent the nail, add a little bit of bling, but the main reason is to cover up that the markings where I attached the nail tip, the cut nail tip, to that nail bed, the clear nail bed I made. I'm trying to move it around, see if I didn't get too much liquid in there. I think it's best to leave a little bit of an air bubble, and I think I have one. I just need to check. It's gorgeous though. You can wear this. It's pretty strong. It's the right shape. It's not too bulky. Beautiful. Thank you so much for watching.